What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Polestar. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's been causing a lot of volatility, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, market's been open roughly around 30 minutes. It is down 2.38%. Looking at the volume, 2.5 million shares being traded, 14.8 is the average. So today's going to be a little bit low on the volume front. There hasn't been all that much institutions paying attention to it, as you can kind of see. So last transaction did occur yesterday. It was a sell, and that was for 231,000 for that, and it was at that $1 mark. So of course, yesterday was a very volatile day. You saw it hit a high of roughly $1.10 and then a low of around 87 cents. So a lot of people are very curious on what the hell caused that like 15% swing in either direction, or a little bit 20, but nonetheless, I'm going to talk about that and everything else. But there hasn't been all that much for news associated to Polestar over this last little bit. So last news came out on July the 2nd. We already do generally know that. And plus, looking on NASDAQ's website, they haven't included the $1 bid price rule. So you do see Polestar right down here with the list of non-compliant companies. So Polestar is right here. They do have that earnings deficiency right here, which technically Polestar did rectify, so that should be taken down momentarily, probably within this week, as they do add that $1 bid price rule, because NASDAQ does require companies to trade above $1 for 30 consecutive trading days, and Polestar didn't really comply with that. So that's most likely going to spook some investors, and probably that's what caused some volatility yesterday, because there was two different attributing factors for this. One of which was larger entities selling out. The second of which was a new analyst rating. And so my OBS, who I used to kind of record all my screens, is not necessarily working the best right now. So you kind of see everything. My apologies for the craziness there, but you do see right here yesterday there was a new rating, 𝗪𝗓𝗘𝗖𝗧, and this individual, it looks like it's not populating his rating, but nonetheless, I believe he did state that there's not much growth forecasted for Polestar and very little upside. So $1.10, given what just came out, is a massive slap in the face. So that, alongside institutions selling, that is what really prompted a downtrend. And just to give you an overview of this, so this is the current ownership for Polestar. So 22.96 million held by institutions, 222.89 by strategic entities, and then 222.09 by retail and stuff like that. And this is it on a percentage basis. So even though institutions don't hold all that much in Polestar, one of them did clearly sell yesterday, and that, what I did bring up, was only transactions over $100,000. So there's probably a lot that did sell, just was below that kind of threshold. So something to keep in mind. Aside from all of that fun jazz, let's go over some data points. A lot of people like to just jump to shorts, and it wasn't necessarily shorts that was doing all that much yesterday. Right now, they're only increasing 185,000 shares, which is a drop in the bucket, considering 27.2 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 10.57, utilization 85.72, and then short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 77.63%. So a lot of people are saying that it's shorts doubling down. If anything, they've been rather timid over this last little bit and not doing anything whatsoever. They probably are waiting, in my opinion, for that non-compliant notice to come from the NASDAQ. That is where they will jump all over and prompt a whole new level of selling when it comes down to Polestar. So not necessarily the best. Looking at options, so the market just opened, like I said, and 1,700 in calls, 210 in puts, even extending that a little bit further over this last 2 days, 78,000 and then 12,000. So big money, or just nobody is really looking at Polestar, whether it be from a common stock standpoint or options, which is very unfortunate. 54% of all the options being done so far today are bearish and clearly anticipating for it to trend down. Looking at some of the call options that are being purchased, like I said, dollar value wise, nobody's really getting in. There's a consensus for it to be above $1. That's the most optimistic stance. And then looking at puts, more of an anticipation for it to be sub $1 for July the 19th. So this upcoming expiry date, the closest one. And that's one negative about Polestar is they only do have monthly options, not weekly. But then again, market makers aren't willing to do that because Polestar is just not popular by any means. So like I said in my last couple of videos, even though things like were looking somewhat optimistic, Polestar was moving higher, close to the $1 mark. It didn't really have enough dice to stay and close above $1 for any of those trading days. So I do feel that there is more fear and more pain coming for Polestar in the foreseeable future, which doesn't logically make sense because Polestar does produce quite a lot of vehicles, not necessarily the last couple of quarters based on what they did disclose, but all in all, like they do something. And it's kind of crazy the fact that Polestar has a multiple that they do, given kind of the technology and everything. But right now with it at 88 cents and change, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. So 86 cents is going to be that next strong support, and then 92 cents is going to be that next strong resistance / target. And for those of you that are wondering, what if Polestar closes above $1, let's say today or tomorrow or something else? Does that change the whole NASDAQ ruling? Technically, no. So NASDAQ will send a notice, most likely in the next couple of trading days, like I kind of alluded to in previous videos. They will give Polestar 6 months notice to rectify the deficiency, where they will require Polestar to trade above $1 for anywhere from 10 to 20 consecutive trading days. So NASDAQ will never tell the company how long they require it to be, whether it be on the low end, like 10 days, or on the high end for 20. It all depends on Polestar's risk model that NASDAQ sees, Polestar being a risk. So most likely it is fair to assume it's going to be on the low end around 10, but nonetheless, Polestar does have to trade above $1 for 10 consecutive trading days within that 6 months to kind of be free and clear. If they don't, then this is where they have to go down a reverse stock split territory with many stocks doing that same thing. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on Polestar. Like I said, I've been covering Polestar for a very long time. I really do like their technology and what they've been doing operationally, somewhat, not so much over this last little bit, I guess, but Polestar actually does something. Like I said, they don't deserve to be at this price point, and nor this multiple. So it's just a crazy market. But then again, for the last year and a half though, I've been saying the exact same thing, that institutions do not give a crap about Polestar, and in order for you to move higher, you need that backing coming from institutions. That's just how it is, unfortunately. So let me know your thoughts on Polestar in the comments below. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Polestar? And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.